and this here may be tough to you. Snack cake to me, yeah, more hostess. This been overdue forever. Asked me when it was dropping, said never. Should've made you cut the feta, but I designed it Freemason Margiela.
What's good, it's Shellitronnn here, the most smoke, no joking. I'm back out again with a brand new video. I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. This one was a nail biter. I'm not gonna front. Early on, I thought it was gonna be a quick little game, you feel me? I guess started off pretty much one-sided. There were things going off in our favor and in our favor only. But before I get into the details of this game between the Panthers and the Cowboys, which I will get into the very nitty and the very gritty details of this game, I want to bring up two things that I think I really want to share with you guys, because a lot of y'all have been asking me about my opinion on what these experts say, like on their predictions, their projections, all these lists and these different things, these articles and whatnot, and ask me what my thoughts are on it. Look, you guys watched that Falcons game on Thursday. Didn't everyone say they're gonna have a high-powered offense with everyone contributing, and Matt Ryan was a top 5 quarterback who could do no wrong? What happened in that game? Then the Tampa Bay and the Saints game at 1 o'clock today. Did anybody give the Bucs a chance? And look, Ryan Fitzpatrick was elite. 4 or 5 touchdowns, 400 yards, no picks. And then obviously Drew Brees did well, but look, I won't get to all of that. Bucs are 1-0, Panthers are 1-0, Falcons and Saints are 0-1. How many experts picked that? So that's how I feel about those kind of things, man. Preseason lists don't matter. Anyway, back to this game between the Panthers and the Cowboys. The first thing I want to mention is that midfield logo look nice, don't it? Hey, that midfield logo look nice, don't it? I really do like that, man. Look, the first drive from the Cowboys, they were in a brown paper bag. Our defense had them bagged up, and it was something serious. The whole first half, but really the whole game, honestly, I think Zeke broke out, what, a 13 and a 16-yard run? Had a little touchdown late, but for the most part, he was in a brown paper bag. We had that man in a duffy, zipped it up, put it inside of another cardboard box, and told him, don't get out. People were telling me that Zeke was gonna run and go crazy on us. Not the case. But Cam did. Cam led the game in rushing and pass yards. And the first half, I think he had 64 yards at the half. Look, he was 17 for 26, 161 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. That's not bad. 13 carries, 58 yards, 1 touchdown. A good little standard game for him. An all-purpose 200-something yards. He got his thing going, man. So it was a really good game for Cam. We saw Christian McCaffrey trying to force him to go on the inside. I mean, 10 carries, 50 yards for a 5.0 average. That's good, but I think we really did try to force the issue with trying to prove that he's an inside running back, and I'm not saying he can't be. I'm just saying we don't have to, every single time he's down there, we don't have to try and force it to go in between center guard and go between the tackles. We can see him, we can push him out there a little bit, but speaking of strengths and not forcing it, one thing that I really liked here, and I am kind of going back and forth here with these topics, is Cam Newton. One of the first things that Norv Turner said he wanted to do when he got to Carolina was work on Cam's underneath game and make him just know and believe and just get in his head that deep bomb doesn't always have to be your first choice. We got kind of television with Kelvin last year, and Devin Funchess to a smaller extent with that fade. He was like, look, Cam, take what the defense gives you. If they're purposely taking away that over-the-top stuff, go underneath. Look at your checkdowns. Let them work. We have speed guys. We have guys who can do a lot of different things. We have so many weapons underneath. And Cam said, okay, coach. This man really did look at a lot of underneath stuff. Christian McCaffrey had a few catches out underneath. Jarius Wright early on did a lot of good stuff for us underneath. I think that Cam really did respond to that advice from Norv Turner extremely well. And this offense looks so much better and so much nicer than the last few years under Shula. I'm not gonna lie. Now the Cowboys' plan from the beginning was to take away everything up top. They were playing pretty deep the whole game, taking away all those deep routes. So they were trying to force Cam to throw underneath, thinking that he still had that weakness in his game. But he showed he could make a lot of those catches. But he showed he could make a lot of those throws underneath pretty solidly. I mean, there was one that was a pretty high ball to Greg Olsen, but he caught that. Greg had that scare. Look, I was worried. Greg had that scare with his foot early on. Then he came back out on the sideline in a boot. So my worry was definitely confirmed. I hope he's back. I hope he's ready. We look like we rushed a lot of guys back from injury. The biggest name there is Darrell Williams. I said it so many times. I think it was in comments. I don't think I put it in a video, but I said it in my comments, and I said it on my live stream today. I did it on Twitch. I said we do not need to rush Daryl Williams back because maybe we do get better protection at right tackle because, look, we need protection everywhere, honestly. But at what cost? So we got 3.5 good quarters. Was it 3.5 good quarters of blocking from my man Daryl Williams? And then he goes down, same knee, had to get carted off. He's probably gone for the season. I don't want to say all that. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what happened really. But when you come back very quickly from an injury that you should have at least had a couple weeks to recover from, basically in the media, but probably also behind closed doors, beg the coaching staff, beg the medical staff to clear you for this game so you can get in week 1. Rushing guys back is not a good way to have long-term success. It was good to see him on the field, but at what cost? But honestly, for the most part, the O-line played pretty well. Earlier on in the first half, when Daryl Williams is still in, they were playing very, I would say, great against a talented front 7, front 4, front 7 as well from the Cowboys. Chris McCaffrey had that one fumble on the goal line that I'll hold the red zone really, that I really didn't like. That was a tough one. Ross from the Cowboys had a quick little swim move over our center. I don't know if that was Ryan or not. It looked like it was a black guy, but it could have been Ryan, who's our center for that play. Quick little swim move, forced that fumble. That was kind of tough. For the most part, we played really well on the line, but really that didn't matter because that read option was working to 100%. It was like the Cowboys, they knew what Norv Turner's game, what his scheme was, like the short routes and the run to open up that deep pass. But then they forgot what Cam's strength is. Like the read option just wasn't there. I remember so many plays where the linebacker on the outside crashed so hard on the running back to get the ball and completely ignored Cam. He completely ignored Cam several times, and Cam's just getting read options. Like, it's nothing. He's going off the edge. Like, are you really giving me this play here? Do I just go this way? Is it this way, sir? Is this the red carpet right here? Cam Newton on that read option early on was looking unstoppable. He was a grown man playing with boys, but Cam wasn't the only one dominating because 2K Short, the whole D-line, the whole defense as a whole was getting sacks like it was nothing. Shaq Thompson had a sack. 2K Short had 2 sacks. Mario Aston had 1.5. Wes Horton at 1.5. I mean, we were really doing work on that defensive side of the ball. Luke was going sideline to sideline. It was, what else is new? I mean, what can I tell you, man? Shaq Thompson is looking like a real monster out there. Shaq Thompson is looking like he's a natural. He obviously is a natural, but he filled in perfectly for TD, who's, spending his 4-game suspension. That's kind of tough. But Shaq Thompson is showing that he really can get the job done. One thing I will say about our defense is that our secondary had some players that were playing so well, like impressively so. But there were other plays where we were just flat out lost. Like, you know what I said our game plan should be on defense? Pack the box, stop Zeke, which we did, and make Dak throw the ball to win the game. And Dak didn't have a great night, but there were some plays where we left Cowboys receivers wide open. Dante Jackson had some really good plays, but there were some plays where he was so far out of position. There were some plays where we were playing man and he just didn't know where his assignment was. There were some times where Mike Adams was even like very unaware, and he's way too old. Mike Adams is way too old and way too much of a veteran to get lost on these plays, especially against the Cowboys, who really don't have a really top tier receiver. Honestly, their guys are level 2, level 3 guys at best. I know it's the first game of the year. On the downs we're playing man, we see 2 guys covering 1 receiver and another guy wide open just standing there like reading a book, waiting for Dak Prescott to get in the ball. Now luckily for us, Dak Prescott is at best a game manager. I don't mean Alex Smith game manager. I don't know what to tell you. This man is actually a game manager at the most deepest of definitions. He missed some wide open throws, but sadly for us, he also connected on some pretty easy throws that shouldn't have even been there to begin with. But like I said, we worked really well. We held Ezekiel Elliott to 69 yards, 15 carries, only had 1 touchdown. That was kind of late. I mean, we did pretty well this game. I'm not gonna lie, this was a really good game that I really felt like we gutted out. The cardiac cat strike again, like it really should not have even been this close. We should have had at least 24 27 maybe, and they shouldn't even come close. But honestly, I should have known we were going to be okay when Maher, was that the new kicker's name? He missed that field goal. And I told y'all, a lot of these games come down to kicks sometimes. The Cowboys got that field goal. They don't have to go for 2, and they don't have to go for 2 again to tie the game up. They could go for a win. That wasn't going to happen. But that field goal changed the whole temperature of the game and how the Cowboys had to go about their business in the whole game. A lot more pressure on them, and that was a move that really had me scratching my head. And I know the guys out in Dallas are feeling some kind of way about that. But honestly, we played extremely well. I think we played extremely well. Alex Arma got a touchdown in this game. That was pretty clutch. I mean, it was honestly a pretty solid game. I will say that after Darrell Williams went out, Shellitronnn was getting a little bit abused at right tackle, but after a little bit we were doing okay. I think that was more to do with fatigue than it was to do with skill. And if he's out there next week, he'll get a lot more time to have more reps at right tackle. I think we'll be straight there. I think we'll be all right on our line. We'll have a pretty good line for next week versus the Falcons coming off that loss. But all in all, man, our crunch time offense and defense came through. It got a little scary out there, and I won't lie, I had my doubts, especially when Luke Kuechly got hurt. When Luke got hurt and his knee, he had to limp off the field, and then he gutted it out. This man gutted it out and came back for the last possession for defense and made his plays. That's when I knew. I said, oh, captain, my captain, Luke Kuechly. Yeah. Anyway, man, we did a really good job, 8-16. Defense did well, offense did well. I told you this was going to be the perfect matchup for us because of our strengths and weaknesses matched up very well against their strengths and weaknesses. But what are your thoughts on this game, man? What are your biggest takeaways? Were you surprised by anything? Were there things that you want to point out to me that I might have missed? Let me know in the comments below. And you already know to do that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Being told y'all I been the man. Being told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.